My fiancé laughed. I put peanuts in your dinner to prove you're faking your allergy. You're just picky. As my throat closed shut, I barely managed to text 911. Then I handed the paramedics the leftover plate and filed charges for assault with a deadly weapon. When the officers cuffed her in the ER waiting room, this happened 18 months ago. I'm only writing the full account now because I finally feel steady enough to put it all down. I'm 29. Was engaged to Lisa. 27. Notice the word was. We'd been together 2 years. Engaged 4 months. Wedding was set for the following spring. Not anymore. Here's the key thing you need to know first. I have a life-threatening peanut allergy. Not mild hives or a stomach ache. The kind that shuts my airway in minutes. Diagnosed at 6 after a birthday party almost killed me. I've carried an EpiPen every single day since. Lisa knew this from our very first date. I made it crystal clear because when someone else is feeding you, it's not optional information. She acted like she understood. Said her cousin had a bad shellfish reaction once, so she got it. That was 2 years earlier. But over time, the little digs started. We'd be at dinner and I'd double-check with the server about cross-contamination. She'd exhale loudly, roll her eyes, mutter that I was making a scene. I brushed it off. Figured she just didn't grasp how fast things can go south. 6 months ago, the comments sharpened. We were at her parents' place. Her mom had cooked Thai. I politely asked if the satay sauce had peanuts. Lisa laughed and told her mom I was obsessed and used the allergy as an excuse to be fussy. I corrected her on the spot, said this was a real medical issue, not pickiness. Her mom was lovely, showed me every label, but Lisa was visibly irritated that I'd contradicted her. In the car on the way home, she lost it. Said I'd humiliated her in front of her family. I was floored. I'd simply asked a safety question. She eventually apologized, blamed work stress. I let it go. But it kept happening. At restaurants, she'd order peanut-heavy dishes and get annoyed when I wouldn't just try a bite. Said I made everything revolve around my allergy. Her friends started chiming in, calling me high maintenance at parties. Lisa laughed right along, never once defended me. I started second-guessing myself, wondering if I really was overreacting to a legitimate health issue. 2 months ago, she brought home takeout pad thai. Peanuts were literally listed on the container. I pointed it out. Obviously, I couldn't eat it. She got angry, insisted a little bit wouldn't kill me. I explained that was exactly what severe means. She called me theatrical and ate it herself while I made a plain turkey sandwich. Huge red flag. I see that now. That I should have ended it then. But save the dates were out, deposits were paid, her parents were already deep in wedding planning. It felt messy and overwhelming to blow everything up over food disagreements. Dumbest excuse I've ever made. Last month, she started pushing for Thailand for the honeymoon. I reminded her Thai cuisine is loaded with peanuts and it would be dangerous. She snapped that I was sabotaging the trip, using my allergy to control her. Control. As if staying alive was a power move. We had a massive argument. I told her if she couldn't respect a condition that could kill me, we had a serious problem. She accused me of paranoia, said people with genuine allergies don't act this paranoid. Genuine. As if mine was imaginary. She apologized the next day, claimed her sister had convinced her I was just anxious and manifesting symptoms. I reminded her I'd had this for 23 years, with hospital records to prove it. She said fine, she believed me. I thought the issue was finally dead. Then last week happened. I got home around 6:30. Lisa said she'd cooked spaghetti with meat sauce, one of my guaranteed safe meals. She'd made it tons of times. I sat down, took a couple bites. Something tasted slightly off, sweeter than usual. I figured she'd tweaked the recipe. Third bite, my lips started tingling. Fourth bite, my tongue felt thick. I stopped eating, asked what exactly she'd put in the sauce. She shrugged, said the normal stuff: tomatoes, garlic, ground beef, herbs. My throat was tightening fast. I asked again if anything was different. She was scrolling her phone, barely looking up. Why now I knew. I stood, went for my EpiPen in the hall closet. That's when I heard her laugh. I turned. She was watching me with this smug little smile. "What's wrong?" she asked, like it was hilarious. "Something's in the food," I rasped. My voice already sounded strangled. "Is there?" She tilted her head. "Or are you doing your usual drama?" My airway was closing. This wasn't anxiety. This was the real thing. Hands shaking. I got the EpiPen out. "You're seriously using that over pasta?" She mocked that I jammed it into my thigh. Instant relief started, but it wasn't enough. My throat kept swelling. That's when she dropped the bomb, casual as hell. "I stirred in some peanut butter. Just a spoonful, to show you've been faking this whole time." I stared at her, fighting for every breath. "You're fine," she said, rolling her eyes. "Look, nothing's happening. It's all in your head." I wasn't fine. EpiPen buys minutes, not miracles. I needed a hospital. I grabbed my phone, called 911, barely able to wheeze out the address and anaphylaxis. Dispatcher told me units were 2 minutes out. Lisa realized I was actually on the phone with emergency services. The smirk vanished. "What are you doing?" I couldn't talk anymore. I yanked a Ziploc from the drawer, scraped a big portion of the spaghetti into it. Evidence. Sirens were already screaming closer. "You're saving the food?" Her voice pitched up. "Why?" Paramedics burst through the door. I croaked, "Anaphylaxis," pointed to the used EpiPen. They threw an oxygen mask on me, checked vitals, started working fast. Lisa hovered, insisting, "He's fine, he always does this, it's anxiety." One paramedic shot her a look. "Ma'am, his airway is almost completely closed. This is critical." They loaded me onto the stretcher. I thrust the bag of pasta at the closest medic and managed to whisper, "She admitted peanuts. I'm deathly allergic." Deliberate. His expression went stone cold. He glanced at Lisa, took the bag and said, "We're keeping this." Lisa tried to follow us into the ambulance, yelling, "That's our dinner. You can't take that." The doors slammed in her face, and the rig they pushed for epinephrine, steroids, Benadryl. One medic radioed the ER about possible intentional poisoning and that they had a food sample. The other asked if I wanted police to meet us at the hospital. I nodded hard. At the ER, they rushed me straight back. More drugs, monitoring. A nurse took my full statement, face growing darker with every sentence. When I said my own fiancé had confessed to lacing the food on purpose, she muttered, "That's assault, maybe attempted murder." 20 minutes later, 2 officers arrived. I recounted everything. The 2 years of dismissive comments, the escalating fights, her exact words tonight. They asked for proof beyond my word. I told them the paramedics had the plate, that it should test positive for peanut protein. The female officer stepped out, came back with the sealed bag. "Smells strongly of peanut butter," she confirmed. "Lab will rush it." They asked where Lisa was. I said she was probably on her way. My phone was exploding. I showed them the texts rolling in. "Are you okay? I'm so sorry." Then, "This is insane, it was barely any." Then, "You're ruining everything over nothing." The male officer radioed the front desk to watch for her. 30 minutes later, he got the call. She just walked into the waiting room asking for me. They brought her straight to the secure hallway that I heard her before I saw her. I'm his fiancée. I have every right to see him. Ma'am, turn around. You're under arrest. For what? This is ridiculous. Assault with a deadly weapon. You have the right to remain silent. Her voice faded as they took her away. The female officer stayed with me, said, "You did the right thing. This wasn't an accident." They kept me overnight for observation. Biphasic reactions can hit hours later. My phone never stopped. Lisa, her mom, her sister, her friends, all screaming that I was overreacting, destroying her life, being vindictive that I blocked every number. Morning came. Vitals stable. Doctor discharged me with strict instructions. I went straight to the station, signed the formal complaint, got an emergency protective order. Judge signed it within the hour. 500-foot restraint, no contact. That afternoon my brother, Dad, and 2 of Dad's buddies helped me move everything out of the apartment in one trip. Lisa had trashed the place and destroyed some of my stuff, but we got what mattered. Lease was in my name only. Landlord let me break it penalty-free once I sent the police report. Bail hearing was that same day. $50,000. Her family posted it. She got out that night, but the protective order was already active. Preliminary hearing a couple weeks later. I testified. Lisa stared at the floor the whole time. Judge bound her over for trial. The actual trial was 4 months later. Prosecution laid out the food evidence, my decades of medical records, the paramedics' testimony, her texts, her confession to police. Defense tried to claim she was helping me overcome irrational fear. Jury took 3 hours. Guilty. Assault with a deadly weapon. Sentencing. 3 years, serve 18 months with good behavior, probation after, mandatory allergy education classes and anger management. Her family screamed at the judge. Had to be removed. That was 18 months ago. She was released last month. Permanent restraining order. She can never contact me again. Her family still paints me as the monster who ruined her life over a prank. The courts know the truth. More importantly, I'm still breathing. That's the only part that actually matters.